Peter Pan might be guiding dead children to the afterlife. Moana could have drowned in that opening storm, and there's disturbing evidence suggesting Snow White never actually woke up. These theories turn Disney magic into something far darker. Peter Pan serves as Death's guide. The boy who never grows up might have a far more sinister role than anyone realizes. While Disney painted Peter Pan as a mischievous hero sprinkling pixie dust, the original source material reveals something profoundly darker lurking beneath that green tunic. In J.M. Barrie's book, there's an explicit reference to Peter thinning out the lost boys when they begin showing signs of maturity. The text deliberately avoids explaining how this happens, leaving readers to fill in the horrifying blanks themselves. These aren't children finding adoptive families. They're being eliminated because they've violated Neverland's cardinal rule. Then, there's the chilling passage where Peter walks partway with children who've passed away, accompanying them so they won't face their fear alone. That's not the behavior of a playful trickster. That's the job description of a psychopomp, a guide who escorts souls to the afterlife. Jessie's original owner is Andy's mother. What if Andy's cowboy obsession was actually inherited rather than randomly acquired? The theory connecting Emily from Toy Story 2 to Andy's mom hinges on one specific piece of evidence: the hat. Emily's distinctive red hat with white lace trim appears during the heartbreaking "When She Loved Me" montage. Decades later, Andy wears an almost identical hat, just without the decorative lace. Fans immediately latched onto this visual parallel, suggesting Emily kept that hat through adulthood before passing it down to her son. The theory gained serious momentum when Tom Hanks himself expressed enthusiasm for it, publicly wondering whether Pixar had intentionally woven this connection into the narrative. However, Pete Docter eventually stepped in to clarify that no such relationship was planned during production. Anna and Elsa have a jungle-dwelling brother. The shipwreck that supposedly claimed the lives of Elsa and Anna's parents might not have been as final as Frozen presented. According to this theory, the royal couple actually survived their maritime disaster, washing up on a remote jungle island where they had one more child before meeting their true end. The timeline suggests the queen gave birth to a son in this tropical wilderness, only for both parents to fall victim to a leopard attack shortly afterward. The infant gets adopted by a gorilla family and eventually grows into the vine-swinging hero we know as Tarzan. This would make him the biological brother of the Frozen sisters, separated by ocean and circumstance. Boo becomes the time-traveling witch. Within the sprawling Pixar shared universe theory, one connection stands out as particularly intricate: the transformation of Boo from Monsters, Inc. into the mysterious witch from Brave. According to this theory, Boo discovers how to manipulate the magic door technology from the monster world, using it to travel through time itself. She eventually lands in medieval Scotland, becoming the enigmatic witch who vanishes through doorways and carves impossibly anachronistic images into her workshop, including Sully's silhouette and the Pizza Planet truck. Her bizarre behavior throughout Brave gets reinterpreted as the actions of someone desperately searching across time for the monster friend she lost as a child. Every strange mannerism suddenly makes sense when viewed through the lens of a girl who's been jumping through centuries trying to reunite with Sully. The evil queen returns as Mother Gothel. Two Disney villains separated by decades might actually be the same person, surviving across centuries through dark magic and vanity. The parallels between Snow White's evil queen and Tangled's Mother Gothel are too numerous to dismiss as coincidence. Both characters exhibit identical fixations on preserving their beauty at any cost, wielding similar personalities dripping with manipulation and cruelty. Their physical appearances, particularly as they age, share disturbing similarities. Even their weapons match. Both villains brandish nearly identical curved daggers during crucial moments. The smoking gun appears inside Rapunzel's tower itself, where a painted poison apple sits hidden in the background details. The theory constructs a timeline where the queen somehow escapes her fate in Snow White, disappearing for hundreds of years before resurfacing as Gothel, to exploit the magical golden flower's youth-preserving properties. Moana's journey happens in the afterlife. That devastating storm at the beginning of Moana might have been far more fatal than the film suggests. This theory proposes that Moana actually perishes when the ocean destroys her boat, and everything that follows represents her spirit navigating the realm of the dead. Once you accept this premise, suddenly her impossible survival makes perfect sense. She faces off against lava monsters, converses with gods, and descends into the realm of monsters without sustaining a single serious injury. Nothing she encounters operates under normal physical laws because she's no longer bound by them herself. The theory concludes with Te Fiti restoring her to life after the heart is returned, explaining why she suddenly wakes up on the shore as if awakening from a long dream. Lilo's parents were intelligence operatives. The eccentric little girl photographing tourists might have learned that behavior from parents who lived double lives as secret agents. Cobra Bubbles, initially introduced as a stern social worker, has confirmed CIA credentials and documented involvement with the Roswell incident. The theory suggests he's not randomly assigned to Lilo and Nani's case, but personally connected to their parents' former intelligence work. Lilo's strange habits, her obsession with documenting strangers, her bizarre collection of books, could all be remnants of tagging along on surveillance operations. Snow White never wakes up. What if that kiss wasn't about true love, but about death claiming its prize? This reinterpretation casts the prince as a grim reaper figure rather than a romantic savior. The prince appears at two crucial moments. First, at the wishing well when Snow White nearly dies from fright, then immediately after she succumbs to the poisoned apple's curse. His arrival on a pale horse mirrors classical death imagery across multiple cultures. The so-called true love's kiss gets reframed as the kiss of death, the final breath being drawn from her body rather than life being restored to it. In the closing scene, he leads her toward a glowing castle floating high above the clouds, which supporters interpret as the afterlife rather than any earthly kingdom. Finding Nemo maps Marlin's grief journey. Marlin's desperate search for his son might actually be a psychological journey through loss rather than a literal ocean adventure. The theory interprets every stage of Finding Nemo as representing the 5 stages of grief following the devastating attack that killed Coral. It starts with denial, Marlin clinging to the single surviving egg and becoming overprotective. His explosive reactions reflect anger. His willingness to team up with Dory represents a form of bargaining. Depression hits when he believes Nemo has died. The story culminates in acceptance when Marlin finally lets Nemo take risks independently. Some fans point out that Nemo translates to nobody in Latin, suggesting the fish might represent Marlin's grief itself rather than an actual surviving child.